everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with another layout. Now this is another one of those layouts from my Scraptastic inspiration group. And so what I'm essentially doing is I'm scrap lifting a layout, but I'm really trying to stay as close to this layout, the original layout, as I can. I'm not going to put that on screen. Let's just say that I stayed really close to it just because it's not my work and I don't know how the other scrapbooker would feel about me putting her work on YouTube, or in public. So anyway, I used my Cricut and cut a 7-inch circle and a 3-inch circle, just so you know how big those are if you want to replicate this. And man, I'd never done that before. Was it ever fast? So I did that. The cardstock that I'm using, the white cardstock, is Basil Avalanche, and yes, I'm using white cardstock because the other layout was actually on white cardstock. It was not a Christmas layout like this one is, but it was on white cardstock. The Harlequin paper, that little Harlequin diamond paper, is Bella Boulevard Christmas Cheer, the Borders paper. And then the tree paper that you see down there is the Bella Boulevard Christmas Cheer Merry and Bright. And right now I'm working with trying to find a journaling card that I like, because there was a journaling card on the bottom there. They weren't quite right until I hit the chevron, and that's an old printable from years ago. I don't actually remember where it was from. I printed it probably 4 or 5 years ago. It still had it in my Christmas stash, and I do keep my Christmas stash kind of all together. Now I wanted to cover up that little piece of green on the bottom there, so I'm thinking about using this heart, but I'm not liking the pink because there's not pink in anything else. So I'm going to go find a piece of other paper. While I talk about that, the top banner paper was from Bella Boulevard Christmas Cheer. It's from the Daily Details paper. I just cut out a 4x6 card and then cut the shape into a banner on one end. And then the asterisk paper, which is the banner on the bottom, is from Bella Boulevard. It's a scrap from Christmas Cheer. I don't know what the paper name is. So you can see I just took some star paper there, used my Marva Uchida heart punch. That star paper is Bella Boulevard Oh My Stars, and it's Macintosh star paper. And then I added another star from the stickers from Christmas Cheer. They are called, just see if I can find them, Treasures in Text. And then I found that little red cut apart that says A December Story from El Studio. It's just in with my green Christmas thing, so I can't tell you where it's from. And then speaking of El Studio, on the bottom I added in that other green die cut down there that says This Was Amazing. That title, the acrylic title, the Fa La La title, is El Studio, and that's in the place of where there was an acrylic or a word title, in one word title in my example layout. And then I used that reindeer, chipboard reindeer, which is from the Bella Boulevard Christmas Cheer Icons, which is the chow chip or the chipboard. So now I think I've kind of told you where everything is from. The layout had quite a few hearts on it. So it had hearts in the position that the hearts were now, but maybe not necessarily like there's only one. Well, actually, I think there were 2 hearts on the left side there. There was only 1 heart on the bottom circle, but I just added that other heart because I thought it needed that little extra kind of detail down there. Plus, I wanted to bring in that bright red again in the bottom. Alright, so I'm kind of settled on how I want things to look on the top. So I'm going to glue things down there. And I am trapping a little white space there. If you look at the bottom of the circle, the white space in this case is actually the green diamond paper, but I think I'm okay with that because I think your eye kind of fills in the rest of the circle. I don't know that I would normally do that. Otherwise, I think if I didn't do that, you wouldn't get the idea that there was a bottom to this circle. So I think I needed to see at least something of that paper. So that's why I left that there, guys. So it was an intentional trapping of white space. I think, there's quote design or design quote rules, and I think it's okay to break them if you know what they are, as long as you know why you're doing it. Or in my case, I just did it because it looked pleasing to my eye, and now as I'm coming back to explain to you how and why I did things, I realized, oh, it's because your eye automatically fills in the rest of the circle. but you needed a bottom of the circle. Now, I don't like the tiny little bit of green on that left side of the journaling card. I think that's too small. It looks like an accident versus intentional. I think on the right side, it looks a lot more intentional because of the way I layered there. On the left side, it just looks like I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, if that makes any sense to you. All right, so I kind of have that down. Now I'm going to look at how I'm going to layer my little hearts here. So one punched heart, one sticker heart. And I like how I'm getting different patterns in there, different finishes. So I'm looking at using some hearts from El Studio. I think I grabbed either a green or red, but I didn't like how it looked. So then I have these Chamel Head in the Clouds puffy stickers, so I just grabbed a green one from there. It's a little bit of it's the same kind of springy green, but it's not the exact same. So I think it works pretty well on the green star, or green heart, sorry. And it was funny, guys, I had intended to do stars on this, and instead of the hearts, but pulled my heart punches, and before I realized it, I had punched the hearts and thought, okay, whatever. That's what I'm doing. Now, and I do love this story. As I'm working with this, I can tell you a little bit about it. We were waiting for Santa to come and read a story, and my and oh, by the way, just in case you're new, that is my Memento Dewdrop ink and gray flannel. The rest of you who have been around a while will know that. It's my favorite ink. Anyway, so we were waiting around for Santa to come and read a story, or after Santa was done reading the story, this entertainer came on and he was singing Christmas carols with his guitar, and my grandson was sitting just to his left and he was singing along with the carols he knew. And finally this guy invited him up, and they were singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer together, and eventually the entertainer just stopped singing and let my grandson sing the song. So it was really a sweet moment that I documented, and there were other people around. You know, there were probably 10 or 15 people. This was in the lobby of a hotel, so there were probably 10 or 15 people just sort of sitting around listening to him, but there were a lot more checking in because this was late in the afternoon, so it was kind of cool that he was that brave. So now I'm just arranging these pieces. I want that green die cut that says amazing on it to touch the reindeer. Otherwise, too many things are going to look separate if I don't have those touching. This is some pretty old chipboard, so I pulled off the old adhesive. It was all dried up. So that reindeer, again, when you connect more things and touch more layers, it pulls things together here. And that's kind of what that's doing, because the reindeer's touching the paper, the die cut, and then the background paper. And then, you know, I'm joining everything in a line with your eye with that banner, because like the green die cut and the banner kind of touch with your eye. It looks like the banner is going under the die cut. That's a little trick, guys, to kind of join things together without actually being able to touch things. And then obviously the title's touching the three papers. So that's how it's helping pull everything together so it looks, quote, right to your eye. And as I'm doing this, there was one more heart. It was to the bottom of the right-hand photo. And so I'm thinking about addressing that heart as well, because I need to get something there, but you'll see what I do to solve that. I realized that the journaling card was not straight, and at first it was fine, but my cluster on the bottom right is all straight, so I needed to straighten that out, even though the photos are not. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a heart. Instead of on the bottom right of the photo, I'm adding on the top right, and the reason that is otherwise it wouldn't be very balanced, because there would be no embellishment on the top and everything would be towards the bottom of the page. So I figured it needed a little bit of something. There is something on the top, because obviously the top of that circle, your eye is seeing something up there, but it just didn't look right if I put everything to the bottom of the page, especially because I have that December story die cut coming over a little bit further. In the original layout, it was more right over the top of the journaling card, and I don't know if it was part of the journaling card or not. I can't exactly tell from the photograph I received, but it just, to my eye, I wanted to balance my layout just a little bit better here with the way I have things justified and on the page. So that's kind of the biggest change. So then I added another one of those L Studio puffy heart stickers in red. I don't know that I told you the ones on the bottom are L Studio, but they're just puffy stickers. So guys, there's the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well, and I'll be back with another layout again soon. Don't forget to check out the Scraptastic Inspiration group on Facebook. Bye!